Hi, and welcome to episode 3 at AreYouReadyToOrganize.com, your source for home organization and productivity tools, tips, and methods to keep your life productive. In episode 3, we're going to talk about something I've been wanting to talk about for quite a while, and that is my refrigerator rotation method. What exactly is this? What I hear these days is a lot of talk about eating more vegetables. Well, we've been told that for a long time. Eat your vegetables, eat more vegetables, eat plant-based, vegetarian, vegan, all important stuff. But one of the major challenges that I hear from my readers and the audience that write to me about this is that their produce goes bad fast. It isn't but just a couple days. They go to the grocery store with the best intentions and buy great, beautiful, either regular or organic produce, get it all home, put it in the fridge. They have their meals planned. About 2 days later, they take out some of their vegetables and they're mush. They are a bag of mush. Well, there are some important reasons for this. Really, your produce is very, very important in your life. So what do you do with things that are important? You take care of them. When you get your produce home, it has to be taken care of for the life that it's in your refrigerator. If this is done, your produce will last 2 to 3 times longer, and you will not throw anything away. Maybe once in a great while, but not hardly ever if you rotate it and take care of it. We buy organic, so that is a little more expensive. So I take the time to take care of it. When I get home after purchasing all the produce and all my groceries, I have meal plans planned out a week in advance. I take all of my fruits and vegetables out of their bags. I get a small tub that fits in my sink, and I do rinse my sink with vinegar and wipe it down because sinks are kind of gross. They're dirty, actually. They have food in them that's been there a few days. So you should clean your sink just with a little vinegar and wipe it down. Take a small tub that fits inside your sink, fill it with lukewarm or cold or cool water, and add about a half a cup of vinegar. Fill that tub about halfway up. Take your produce that you've bought and wash it in that vinegar solution. What I do is I put it in the tub and I let it soak for about 15 to 20 minutes. What this does is it takes all of that debris off, any dirt. I take my hands in there after 15, 20 minutes and I kind of work it around gently to try to shake off any of the debris and dirt that's on it. Wash off any of the chemicals that are on the top of it. With organic produce, we don't have to worry about that, but sometimes you can't buy organic. And so it's even more important to use this method. Wash it up. Once you have that done, you can remove all the produce from the bath. And I rinse them, but I don't get really fastidious about it. I just rinse it and set it on a towel, all that produce and fruit, and let it sit on the counter. And I kind of rotate it a little bit just to kind of roll it and get some of that water off. And I just let it sit out for about 30 minutes. There are some items, though, that I don't wash, and that is mushrooms, potatoes, or grapes right away when I get home. If you wash your mushrooms, you throw them in that water, they're going to be a sponge, and they're going to soak up all the water, and your mushrooms will be ruined. So I wipe my mushrooms with a wet, damp, or just a damp paper towel. And then I set them out and let them air dry for a little while. Potatoes I don't touch. I just put them straight in the potato basket and let them sit out. I have a cart in my kitchen, and my potatoes go right in that. So do my onions. Obviously, we don't wash our onions because we don't need to. We peel them. Grapes are interesting too. Grapes should not be washed unless they're thoroughly air dried out before they go into the fridge. And I don't even put mine in the fridge most of the time. We eat them so fast, I just put them on the counter. But what will happen if they're not air dried and you set them in a bowl or put them in the bag in the fridge is they will rot in one day. Grapes, they have to be dry. So I usually wash my grapes just like I told you in the vinegar bath, set them out. I will cut them into small sections and lay them out and let them dry thoroughly, and then put them in the platter or in a bowl to eat. After they're dry, you want to store vegetables according to the following advice. For plastic bags, you want to put greens, carrots, cauliflower, green beans, broccoli, and scallions in those. Paper bag or cloth bags promote airflow for mushrooms. I use a cloth bag for my mushrooms, and they last 2 weeks. I just shake them up. We're going to talk a little bit about that later. I always store my tomatoes, bananas, and citrus on the counter, with the exception that I have a citrus drawer in my refrigerator, and I can set that temperature to 50 degrees. So there are times when I do put those items in the fridge, but it is a climate-controlled 50-degree temperature. Otherwise, they're on the cabinet. What's left out in the open in the fridge are peppers. I think that my peppers breathe better just sitting out and not in a drawer, so I leave those out in the refrigerator. The hard truth is that the rotation method takes time. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it takes thought and intention. Every morning when I get up, after I've put my produce in their bags and put them in the refrigerator, every morning or every other morning, depending on what I'm going to rotate, I take my bags out of the drawers and I pick up the bag and I take the very top and I shake it so that it promotes airflow around all of the leaves or any of the items in there. And you might notice that when you have spinach in a bag, that some of them get green and start sticking to the side of the bag. That's what you want to avoid. If you use my rotation method and get air in that bag and just grab the top and turn it over and just like it's a balloon and shake that, all that spinach will move around, and then you can leave some of that air in there and loosely wrap it and put it back in the fridge. Do this for everything that's in a bag, all the produce that's in a bag in your fridge. If you do this every day, every other day, it takes maybe a minute. Your produce will last a long, long time. It'll also taste better because it's fresher. Air kills bacteria. Air is bacteria's worst enemy. So anytime that you can get more air around your produce in your fridge or on the cabinet, same thing with tomatoes. When they're sitting on my cabinet, I turn them like my citrus with my lemons and with my limes. I turn them so that air gets to the other side. It doesn't take but a couple minutes a day, and you will be very thrilled with how long things last. And organic produce will be more affordable. One of the things, too, I do to save time and money is I outsource my grocery shopping now. And I was a real skeptic with this for quite a while. And then I tried Walmart's online grocery store. And you'd be surprised, Walmart has a good variety of organic produce now. And they also have, they price match everything. So if anything's more expensive somewhere else, they refund my money. So not only do I save time, somebody does my grocery shopping for me. I drive up, I call them, they bring it out in less than a minute to my car with a very smiling, happy face. That is the nicest customer service I have ever received at a grocery store. So they wheel out my groceries with a smile and we chit chat a bit. We put my groceries in the car. I've even gotten to know the person that brings them out to me. She's the nicest person ever. What a way to grocery shop. You have to try that. I've slashed my grocery bill probably by 30% doing it that way and saved 2 hours. 2 hours of my time. So now I have more time to bring it home and wash it right away. That's my tip of the day. So remember, save a little bit of time each day and rotate and shake your vegetables and fruit. Promote air so that there's a decrease in the growth of bacteria, and you will be happier with your produce. Thanks so much, and stay tuned for episode 4.